Hi everyone, in today's video I will try to show you how can you add new type of crop to a mod map which already has other non-standard crops added to it. I already made a video about adding new crops to a mod map. Well, 5 new crops which are included in the MAIZE plus forage extension mod by Alien Paul. The thing is, when I was adding those crops, it was actually a bit quite easy since to that map. Sorry, it was quite easy since the map I was using didn't already have new types of crops added to it. So all I had to do is just copy and paste some of the files which I needed, and I don't know, edit some XML files with Notepad++ and so on and so on. So it wasn't really a big deal, but there is a catch. Uh, if you're going to add new type of crop to a map which already has other types of non-standard crops, it's not that easy. You can't just copy and paste files, because Windows will probably ask you to replace some files, and trust me, you don't want to do that because you will break other crops and your map won't work as it should. So in this video I will try to show you how to avoid that, avoid replacing files, so you won't cause any harm to the map you are editing. In this example I will add a crop called rye to a map which already has the MAIZE plus forage extension crops, which are carrot, onions, alfalfa, clover, and fieldgrass. So I'm going to add a rye on top of that. For adding a crop, I'm going to use. First, you need to find the map which has the crop you want. In this case, I find out that map from the Oxygen David called Sandy Bay for Farming Simulator 19 has that crop. So I'm going to use his map, and I'm going to add the crops, the rye, to this map, which is my personal edit, which already has, as I said, other non-standard crops added to it. And one thing I noticed that is that Sandy Bay doesn't really have it doesn't really have nice HUD icons for the rye. So this is my personal preference, of course. No offense to anyone. It's just that I don't really like the style. It doesn't really fit in the game. So I find out that Geiselsberg also has the rye, but he also has the uh, different art style for the HUD icon for the rye. So I'm going to use Geiselberg only um, for the HUD icon. So as I said, I mean, this video will be more or less for any crop, but it depends on the implementation of crop on the map which we will use, which you will use, sorry. So be careful about it. And I'm going to use, as I said, rye as an example, but you can use any crop. But of course, every crop is different. And for example, rye might have new types of bales. It won't in this case, but it might. Some maps on the mod hub which have rye actually have new type of bale, straw bale made from rye. But as far as I know, Oxygen David didn't do it like that. He made it a bit more simple, so that's why I'm going to use his map for implementing rye. But was uh, as I said, you need to be careful, because if you're going to implement other type of crop, for example, I don't know, lettuce, cabbage, or something like that. It doesn't matter. Of course, it won't have a new type of straw or something like that, new type of bales. You can't bale anything out of it. You can't mow it, and you can't harvest it with combine. So it depends from one case to another, but more or less it's very similar. So just be wary of that. Uh, and of course, this is my personal edit. I didn't ask Oxygen David for. Uh, I didn't ask him to upload edit of another map which has his files in it. I didn't ask him to do that, so I don't have his permission. Or also, I don't have permission to upload this map from original author. So that's another reason why I won't do that. So please make this for your for your personal use, as your personal edit, if you don't have any permissions. This video will probably be a bit lengthy, so take a cup of coffee or glass of water or whatever you like. And yeah, one more thing. I'm not a mod maker. I'm not a map maker. I might I might make mistakes. And as you can see, my English really isn't the best. It's not my native language. But if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. And if you see that I made any mistakes, please point them out. You are learning how to do this, but I'm also learning how to do this. And yeah, on some parts I will try to make things a bit uh, faster, just to not waste time. And yeah, more or less that's it. Of course, you're going to need the map you're going to edit. In my case, this is the map. You need a map which has the crop you want. In my case, this is the sandy bay. You don't need this map if you don't want to. This is just my personal preference for the HUD icons. Uh, and one thing you need to do is place everything under the one folder, just to make everything clear. I placed it on the desktop and called it work directory. And inside I already made two new folders called my zipped maps and i3D files map, sorry, folder, whatever. We are going to need those. So once you download everything, extract it. So we are going to do this now. Sorry, 7-zip, extract. This will take some time. Just a moment. Come on. And we are basically done. So now we have all of the maps extracted. And one thing we are going to do to make things a bit more clear is to just move all of the zipped maps to folder called my zipped maps. And that's it. Now we can start working, I guess. First thing we are going to do is to copy every file for our crop which we need, and without replacing any of the already existing files on the our map. So the easiest way to do this is to simply go from one folder to another, from every single folder, check it out, see if there is the name of your crop mentioned somewhere, and see if you can copy that file. So I'm going to do this by opening both maps, which I'm going to use, side by side, and copy and paste files, which I can copy, of course. So I might sound dumb, but I will try to show you what I mean. So first I'm going to open the Sandy Bay in new window, right click it, open a new window, and I'm going to drag it to the left. And I'm going to do the same with the map I'm going to edit. Right click on it and open in window and drag it to the right. So as you can see, uh, folder structure is quite different between those two maps, and it will probably be quite different for you in your case on the maps which you are using. But don't worry about it. Just be very careful where you are copying things. So first thing I'm going to do is open the audio folder, and there is nothing related to Rai in this case, so there's nothing I need right here. Next, I'm going to open the character folder, and there is nothing related to Rai right here. Of course, it might be different for you, in your case, for your crop. Just check every folder. Next thing is folder called fill planes, which I need. Uh, there are some things, there are more folders to check out, but if you see on the bottom, there are three uh, photos files which say Rai Diffuse, Normal, and Rai Specular. And I'm going to need those files, so I'm going to copy them. And now, where to paste it in my map? As you can see, there is no fill planes folder right here, but it is in the maps folder. Here it is. So it's a different structure. Don't worry about it. Just try to find it. It's somewhere. So I found my fill planes folder, and I'm going to paste those files right here. Rai Diffuse, Rai Normal, and Rai Specular. These are the files I will also need, but I can't copy them, these i3D files. For example, I'm going to need the fill plane material holder, which I have right here, but I can't just copy and paste it in my map because it will ask me to replace this fill plane material holder i3D file, and it will replace it, and it will basically delete all of the other changes I made to that file. And of course, I don't want to do that, so I'm going to leave it for now. We will come back to that later. There is nothing else related to Rai right here, so I'm going to check these two folders. First, I'm going to open the distance folder, and as you can see in my case, here is one thing which says Rai distance diffuse. So I'm going to copy that file. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to open the distance folder in my map, and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to go back. I'm done with the distance folder, and now you see this folder. It says HUDs. If I open it, there is a Rai two actually Rai icons, which I need. In my case, I don't have the folder HUDs under the fill planes folder, so I need to search for it. So I'll go back, and if after searching it, I found it right here under the maps folder. So I'm going to open it, and you can already see HUD icons for the other non-standard crops, for example, for carrots. So all I need to do is to copy these two files and paste it in this folder. But as I said in the beginning of the video, I don't want to do that because the art style of these icons is not really the same. It's not, you see how this is white and it basically fits in with the base game standard crops, and this doesn't really fit in. You can do this, you can just copy this and paste it here if you want to. It's perfectly fine. It's just my personal preference, as I said. So I will remember where I left off under the Sandy Bale Fill Planes HUDs folder. So for now, I'm going to go back to my work directory. I'm going to open the Geiselsberg, and I'm going to search for the HUDs folder right here. As far as I remember, it's under the maps HUDs, and here are the HUDs for the Geiselsberg. Um, One thing to note, I could use the Geiselsberg map to transfer Rai, from that map, but the Sandy Bay has quite a bit different structure from my map, and that's the exact reason why I used Sandy Bay instead of Geiselsberg, because I want to show you, well, basically a way to navigate through your map, to not be confused, because every map will have a different folder structure. So I'm going to just take out the two icons, HUD fill Rye icon and HUD fill Rye small icon. I'm going to copy those two icons and I'm going to paste it right here. And I'm going to go back to Sandy Bay. Here it is. I left off under the HUDs. Here we left off. So I'm going to, there's nothing for me to copy right here, nothing related to Rye anymore. So I'm going to go back. We already checked the distance folder, we checked all of these files, so that's fine. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back here. Next thing we need to check out is the foliage folder. So now we have the distance folder right here, and we have multiple files right here. Don't be scared. Just search for the crop you need. In my case, the rye. It's somewhere a bit lower. Here it is, rye, and as you can see, there are multiple files. This, and so on. So I'm going to mark all of the files which have anything related to my crop in its name. In this case, rye. So I'm going to search for the last file, which is this, and I'm going to hold Shift and click it just to mark all of the files which I need. And I'm going to copy them. In my case, there are 15 files. I'm not sure, this might actually be a different for you. Just copy everything which is related to your crop. I'm going to copy that, and I was in the foliage folder, so I'm going to find the foliage folder in my map, and here it is. And I'm going to paste it right here, and we are done. And there is nothing related to rye anymore right here. So there was one thing which I need to check, and this is the distance folder. So I'm going to open it, and I'm going to see here if there is anything related to rye, and it is. Just a moment. Barley, here it is. Foliage rye distance diffuse 2. And there are multiple files. All of these files, as far as I can see, yeah, all of these files. So I'm going to copy those files, and I'm going to open the distance folder in my map, and I'm going to paste it. Here it is. Then I'm going to go back. We already checked all of these files. I'm going to go back once again, same in my map. And next thing, MAIZE plus folder. These are the animal food additions. It's nothing which I need. Maps folder, and if there is anything related to rye right here, there's nothing. Bales, round bales, alfalfa, clover, grass fermented, nothing related to rye. Square bales, probably the same, of course, as far as I can see. Yes, nothing here. Field planes folder, nothing here. Deep on the ground, nothing here related to rye. Distance, nothing here. Foliage folder, anything related to rye? No, nothing. Distance folder, nothing. HUDs, nothing. These are the different crops which actually Oxygen David implemented later with the update for his Bay map. But we are searching for rye, and there is nothing related to rye right here. If you wanted to implement carrots or something like that, of course, you will need to copy these icons and so on and so on. I hope you see my point. Just search for the files related to your crop, and that's it. Next, particle systems, nothing. Um, and we already checked all of these, and there's nothing here. We're going to go back. I'm going to open the mode map, and there is nothing here. So I'm going to go back. Scripts, nothing. Seasons, nothing for now, which we can just copy. As far as I remember, there is nothing related to rye. Yeah. So I'm going to go back. Sell points, of course, nothing related to rye for now. We don't worry, we will come back to all of these files because we will need to make edits for these files. For now, we are only searching for the files which we can copy and paste to our map. Shader folder, nothing. Textures, this is nothing. This is for buildings and so on. Vehicles, maybe you need them for your crops, so you can copy this if you need it. These are the modified vehicles for harvesting new types of crops. For example, if you're implementing the carrots, you're going to need the modified carrot harvester. So of course you're going to need to copy the vehicles folder, but I don't need it for now because I'm implementing rye. XML files, nothing right here, nothing which says rye explicitly, and basically more or less that's it. Those are all of the files which we could basically just copy and paste to our map without replacing anything. So now we will need to do one boring thing, and that is exporting some of the things from i3D files, well, from the 4 different i3D files, to export them and import those things into our i3D files. There are 4 of them. I will now show you which one and what to do. So yeah, we can continue. Now I'm going to show you which i3D files we need. The 4 different i3D files we need are the next one: cutter effects material holder, effects material holder, fill plane material holder, and particle material holder. Now pause the video and try to find those 4 files. Beware, they might be basically split. They might be on different locations. On my map, I have that exact case. Under the fill planes folder, I have the fill plane material holder, and that's okay. It's under the fill planes, just like in the Sandy Bay. Here it is, fill plane material holder under the fill planes, but there are no cutter effects material holder in this in my map in the fill planes folder. Also, effects material holder and particle material holder are missing in my case. That doesn't mean they don't exist. They are here, but they are just not in the fill planes folder, in this folder. So in my case, they are under the particle systems folder. Here they are: cutter effects material holder, and the particle material folder. So yeah, pause the video and see on both maps where are those 4 different i3D files. Now we are going to need to do 2 different things. We are going to need to open each and every i3D file, see if there is anything related to our crop, export that and import that to that exact i3D file on our map, And after we do that, the second thing we need to do is to basically fix the paths to the textures. uh, I will show you what I mean. First, I will show you slowly what to do, and then I will try to hurry up a bit because this is quite boring and time consuming, but it doesn't mean you need to hurry up. Just take your time, do it slowly just to not miss anything and not break anything. So I'm going to open the Cutter Effects material holder on the Sandy Bay map. Well, basically on the map which you are using uh, for a crop. So I'm going to, and here we are. And now you will see the cutting transform group. This is, as far as I remember, this is called transform group. I might be wrong, but I think that's the transform group. I'm going to expand it. There is a shader transform group. I'm going to expand it and see if there is anything related to my crop. In this case, my crop is rye, and as you can see, here it is, rye. So what I need to do is to export the whole group by selecting it, selecting the rye group, going to File, and going to Export Selection. I'm going to click on that. And now, what I need to do is inside my work directory, I need to find that folder which we created in the beginning of the video called i3d files. I'm going to open it, and now I'm going to save this transform group by naming it the same way. It's called rye, so I'm going to type in rye. Here it is, and I'm going to click on save. Now there is nothing more related to rye under the Cutter Effects material holder, so I'm going to close this. I'm now going to find the Cutter Effects material holder on my map. In my case, it is under the Particle Systems folder. Here it is. I'm going to open it. Just a moment. And now I need to import that. So I'm going under the File, Import, and now I already am under the i3d files folder, and I'm going to select rye and I'm going to open it. But beware, there's one thing we need to fix. It's under the wrong location. It's not under the cutting and shaders transform group. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to go to edit and cut. I'm going to select the shader transform group, go to edit and paste. Here we are. Now it is in under the shader group in the correct location. So second thing we need to do, as I said, is to fix some paths to the textures. If I expand the right transform group, there are multiple files right here. I don't know what are these called, shapes or something, uh, cubes or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm just going to call those files. Doesn't matter. So we need to fix paths for all of these files. I'm going to click on the first one, and under the material editing, there is a path which, if you hover over it, under the albedo map, if you hover over it, it says that it points to the Sandy Bay foliage rye diffuse PNG. And that's wrong, of course. It points to the Sandy Bay, not to my map. So we need to fix it. Before we start that, one thing I need to mention, if you don't see this material editing window, if you don't see it, like now, you need to go under this option window and click on material editing. Here it is. So read what it says. It goes to the foliage folder and it points to the rye diffuse PNG. So what we need to do is click on these three dots, click on these three dots, and now we are under the Sandy Bay, under the wrong map basically. We need to go back to work directory, choose our map, go to maps, foliage, And now we need to find the diffuse image, the right image. Just be very careful. Here it is for me, right diffuse. So I'll select that, click on open, and nothing should change here. Everything should basically remain the same. We are pointing to the copy of that file, but in our map, not in the original map. So now close it. Once you do that, if you point over it, you now see that the path is different. It no longer points to the sending bay, it points to the right map. In my case, this Vola Zabriowska or whatever it is called. It doesn't matter. And that's the correct path. Exact thing we need to do with the other files. Click on the next one. Same, if you hover it, it points to the sandy bay, foliage, rye, diffuse, PNG. Be very careful, always read this. Be very careful about it. Click on these three dots, find your map in the work directory, maps, foliage, and it's somewhere here. Here it is, rye diffuse, click on open, nothing changed, which is okay. And now it's changed. Next, this one also. And yeah, in this case, for some reason, it already, after you change these two files, it will point to the right location on returned one, but just check it, make sure it points to the right map. If it still points to the wrong one, do exactly the same step. Click on three dots and find the right file. So here everything is fine, it points to the right location, and there is nothing related to rye anymore here. So we are basically done with the cutter effects material holder. Click on file and save it, and we are done. And now the next i3D file, the effects material holder. Before we continue, we need to do one thing, and that is basically open our work directory and open the folder we created in the beginning of the video, the i2d files folder, and delete everything. We will need to make sure that this folder is clear, just to not break anything and not to make any mess, because we will still use this folder, well, quite a bit actually. So now we can continue. As I said, the next i3D file we are going to need is the effects material holder. So find that file on both of your maps. First, I'm going to open it under the sandy bay. And now I'm going to drag it to the left. And I'm going to open the effects material holder in my map. And I'm going to drag it to the right. So this is overlapping a bit, but it's not a big deal. So what we need to do is now go from one transform group to another, see if there is anything related to rye, export it, and import it in our map on the right location. And after we do all of that, we are going to go from the beginning, see if we need to change any of the file paths, and we're going to do that. So first transform group in my case is the unloading transform group. Beware, you might have less or more transform groups. It doesn't matter. Go from one group to another, see if there is anything related to your crop, and export it and import it on the right location. So first transform group in my case is unloading transform group. I'm going to expand it. And if you see, look right here, here it is, right transform group. I need it. I'm going to select it, file, export selection, and now I'm in the wrong location. I'm going to go back to my work directory under the i3D files, and I'm going to name the file the same way the transform group is called, rye, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to go to my map, file, import, and I'm going to import it from the i3D files folder. And as you can see, it's under the wrong location. it should be under the unloading transform group. So select it, go to edit and cut. Select unloading transform group, edit, paste. And here it is. There is nothing related to Rye anymore here, so I'm going to close those transform groups. Next transform group in my case is smoke. Again, there is Rye transform group, which I need to export and import in my map. And before I do that, what I need to do is, of course, go to the i3D folder, i3D files folder, sorry, and delete everything just to empty it. And now I will export this transform group. File, export selection, name it the same way as the transform group, save it, go to your map, file, import, import it, and here it is. Now go to edit, cut, since it is in the wrong location. Choose the right transform group. In this case, it was smoke. Edit, paste, and we are done. As you can see, I'm going a bit faster through this. Go to next transform group, straw. As you can see, there is rye. Empty the i3D folder. Select the transform group of your crop. Export selection. Name it the same way. Go to your map. Import rye. Again, wrong location. Cut it. Find the right transform group. In my case, it is straw. Just a moment. Something is a bit broken. I don't know. Something happened. It doesn't matter. Now go select your transform group. Edit. Paste. There we are done. Next transform group, in my case, chopper. Again, here it is rye. So I need to export it. First, I need to delete everything in i3D folder. Rye, edit, sorry, not edit, file, export selection, call it rye, go to your map, file, import, select rye, here it is, but it is in the wrong location, cut it out, click on the right transform group and paste it. There we are done. Next transform group, in my case pipe, again, I have it for my crop. I'm going to empty the i3D files folder. Again, select it, file, export selection, name it the same way, save it, go to your map, import it. Here it is, wrong location, select it and cut it. Go under the right location, under the right transform group and paste it. So here it is. Close up the transform groups. Next transform group in my case is the mower transform group. There is nothing related to my crop right here. It might be different for you. If, for example, you are implementing alfalfa, you will probably find alfalfa right here, but there is nothing for rye. Under the belt, there is rye. So I need to empty this folder, enter this folder, select the rye, file, export selection, type in rye, go to my map, import rye, wrong location, cut it out, select the right transform group, in my case belt, edit and paste. And now it's under the belt. Last two transform groups, leveler, there is rye right here, so I need to export it, of course. I'm going to delete everything here, select it, file, export selection, type in the name of your crop, sorry, not crop, but the name of the file you're exporting, file, import, rye, again, wrong location, edit, cut, choose right transform group, edit, paste, here it is, pickup, and there's nothing under the pickup, and for me that was the last transform group. As I said, you might have less transform groups, you might have more transform groups, it depends from one map to another. It doesn't matter. Just check every single group. If you see anything related to your crop, export it and import it in your map under the right locations. Just look where it was in the map which you use for the exporting. So before we continue, I'm going to empty i3d files folder because we will need it for either files. And now the second thing we need to do, of course, is to fix all of the paths for the things we imported. So I no longer need this FX material holder from the assembly bay. So I'm going to close it and I'm going to expand my effects material holder in Giants editor. So now again, we need to go from the beginning, see if there is anything we imported related to our crop, and fix the paths. So for me, first, watch for this. First transform group I'm going to need is the unloading. If I expand it, if I look through all of these things, there is my crop. Here it is, rye. So I'm going to expand it, and there are multiple files right here. So the first file, if I select it, under the material editing, I see two, not one now, but two different paths I need to fix. Path for the albedo map and the path for the normal map. If I hover over the albedo map, I see that it points to the sandy bay, of course, which is wrong, as I said, under the fill planes folder, and it's pointing to the right diffuse PNG. So I'm going to click on three dots. I'm going to my map. Now I forgot which, of course, I forgot. Yeah, fill planes folder, sorry. Yeah, fill planes folder. And now I need to find the right diffuse texture, click on it, open it, nothing changed, which is fine, close it, and now hover over it, and now it points to the right locations, under the fill planes folder, but in the right map, on my map, not the sandy bay. Same thing for the normal map, hover over it, it points to the sandy bay, which is wrong, under the fill planes folder, and it points to the right normal PNG, not diffuse PNG. Of course, it points to the normal. So click on three dots. You see this, well, basically a bit weird picture. Go back, go find your file. Here it is, right normal under the fill planes. Open it, nothing changed, which is fine. Close it, hover over it, and now it points to the right location. Next file, fill planes, right diffuse. Okay, so go back. I know this is a bit boring part, but it has to be done. For the normal map, same thing, fill planes, right normal. Work directory, fill planes, right normal. Here it is, nothing changed. It's correct location. Next file, again, fill planes, right diffuse PNG. So go back, find your map, find fill planes folder, and here it is, right diffuse PNG. Normal map, same thing, three dots, work directory, your map, fill planes folder, and the normal map. Here it is. And now we change the locations for all of these textures, and now they are pointing to the correct textures, to the correct map actually. So we will close this, and we are done with the unloading group, transform group. Next transform group is smoke. See if there is anything related to your crop, in my case rye, and here it is. There is one thing, and under the material editing there are no specific paths for anything, which is fine. It means we don't have to change anything, thankfully. So we can go back. We can close the smoke transform group, open the straw transform group, see if there's anything related to a crop. In my case, rye, here it is. If I click on it, and now one thing, as you can see, under the albedo map and normal map, there are some paths, but they are actually not pointing to any map, not the map where you took things or map which you are editing, nothing. It actually points to the right location. It points to the installation folder of your map, which is okay. So we don't need to change anything here. Just leave it as it is. If you have it, of course, if you find that path. As I said, always hover with your mouse over it and just read what it says, just not to mess anything up. If it points to the installation folder of your game, if you see that it says Farming Simulator 19 data and so on and so on, of course, just don't touch it, leave it. Next transform group for me is the chopper transform group, and here it is, rye. So I'm going to select it, and again it points to the installation directory, to the data folder, fill planes folder, straw diffuse png. That's fine, so I'm going to leave it. Next, there is nothing under soil sprayer, spreader, nothing. Under the pipe, yes, there is rye, so I'm going to expand it. And in this case, we have some things we need to change. Again, it points to the sandy bay, which is wrong, under the fill planes folder, and it points to the right diffuse picture, well, texture, sorry. So I'm going to click this, uh, click this, sorry, maps, fill planes, and here it is, right diffuse. I'm going to open it, and now it points to the correct location. This fill planes right normal. Again, wrong map. Go back to your work directory, find your map, find the fill planes folder, and find the normal texture. Click on open, nothing changed, everything is fine. Now it points to the correct location. Next thing, same, wrong map, sandy bay, fill planes, right diffuse png. 3 dots, maps, fill planes, right diffuse png. Same thing with normal map, fill planes, right normal png. Maps, fill planes, right normal. Open it, and that's it. We are done here. So we changed the file paths for all of these things. Yeah, and now they are correct. Now we can close this pipe transform group. For me, the next transform group is mower, and there is nothing under it, so I don't need to change anything, nothing related to my crop. As I said, it might be different for you. Belt, here it is, my crop, and if I choose this, again, fill planes folder, right diffuse png. Just always check it, be careful about it. So work directory, my map, fill planes, right diffuse. Open it, nothing changed here, which means it is fine. Again, fill planes, right normal, just the wrong map, fill planes, and here it is, right normal. I'm going to open it, nothing changed, everything is fine, and we are done here. So I'm going to close it. And basically there are 3 more transform groups. Next one is leveler, and here is rye. Now it points again, fill planes, right diffuse. I'm going to go to my map. There, we are done here. And the same thing, fill planes, rye normal png. There, we are done. Now it points to the right map, to our map. So I'm going to close the leveler group. Under the washer, we don't have anything. And under the pickup, yeah, we don't have anything. So basically now we are done with the effects material holder i3D file. So we need to choose file and save. And now we are free to close it. So here it is. Now we have done everything under the cutter effects material holder and under the effects material holder. Two more files which are left are the field plane material holder and the particle material holder. So now we are going to continue with the field plane material holder. Now let's open the field plane material holder from the Sandy, well, from the map you are using. I'm going to drag it to the left, and I need to open the effects, sorry, not the effects, the field plane material holder from my map. And as I said earlier in this video, it's on a different location. It's not here under the particle systems in my case, but it is under the field planes folder. And be careful, there are multiple field planes files. As you can see, there is a field plane increase, some grass, I don't know, and field plane material holder for onions on my map. If you have other other field planes files, just don't leave them alone. Don't do anything. You need to find only the field plane material holder and nothing else. This file, yeah, and I'm going to open it, and I'm going to drag it to the right. And of course, again, we have a bit of overlapping. And now, same thing basically. Go from one transform group to another, see if there is anything related to your crop, export it and import it to your map. And after that, we need to fix all of the paths. So the first transform group is alpha alpha windrow. In my case, I'm going to open it. There is nothing related to my crop, to the rye. Next transform group is dry alpha alpha windrow, and nothing related to my crop here. Again, alfalfa fermented, nothing related to my crop. Just check everything just to not miss. It might seem dumb to check alfalfa for rye, but just go from one transform group to another just to check it. And here it is, the rye transform group. I need that group, and there is nothing under liquid manure. So basically, in my case, I only need this thing. So I'm going to select it, go to File, Export Selection. Again, I'm in the wrong location. I'm going to go to my work directory, i3D files, and the transform group is called rye. So I'm going to type in rye, and I'm going to save it. And basically, this transform group is not under any other transform group, so I won't probably have any problems with the location of the transform group. So I'm going to go to my map, I'm going to go to File, Import, and I'm going to choose Rye. And here it is, and it is in the right location, as I said. We don't have to move it anywhere. Just check it out. In your case, if you are not implementing Rye, just check everything out. Maybe you will need to cut it out and paste it on the right location, depending on which location it was in the map where you took the crop. So another thing we need to do is to fix the pets. Sorry, I'm a bit tired, so yeah. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to leave the Giants editor from our map. And now, as you can see, there are three different pets we need to fix. So under the albedo map, under the gloss map, and under the normal map. So we are going to see what's under the albedo map. It points to the Sandy Bay field planes rye diffuse PNG. So we're going to fix it. three dots. We're going to go to our map, maps, fill planes, and here it is, the diffuse texture. Open it, and we are done here. Next one is the gloss map. If we hover over it, it points to, again, to the fill planes folder, but now to the rye specular PNG. Click on the three dots. It's a green image. Go to your map, fill planes folder, and here it is, rye specular. Going to open it, and of course the last one is the normal map, fill planes rye normal PNG. So we're going to do the same thing. Go to our map, fill planes, and find the normal texture. Open it, and we are done here. Next one is the rye icon material holder. There is nothing to change here, so everything is fine. And basically I'm done here. So I need to click on File, click on Save, and yeah, that's it. I'm free to close it. Now, of course, let's just empty our i3D folder, select everything and delete. And now the last, thankfully, the last i3D file we need is called the particle material holder. So find it on both maps. Again, in my case, it's not under the fill planes folder, so I need to go back, and it's under the particle systems folder. So I'll need to open both of these files. I'm going to drag it to the left, and I'm going to open the particle material holder from my map, and I'm going to drag it to the right, fix a bit of overlapping. Yeah, okay. So one thing to note about this i3D file, when I was first doing this, for some reason, when I exported everything related to my crop and imported it in my map, Giants editor crashed for some reason. I don't know why, but I found out the way to avoid this. So again, we are basically following the same thing. Um, Go from one transform group to another. You might have more, you might have less, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Just go from top to the bottom and see if there is anything related to your crop. So in my case, I'm going to first expand the smoke particle systems transform group and see if there is anything related to my crop. And here it is, the rye. So now normally what we will do is to select the rye, go to File, Export, and you already know. But we can't, for some reason, do that now. What we need to do is to select the whole parent transform group. Sorry for the noise. The whole parent transform group called smoke particle systems, and we need to export the whole group. So we are going to do that. Select the whole group, go to File, Export Selection. It doesn't matter what else you have under that transform group. Don't worry, we won't need it. We are going to delete that. Select the whole group, find in your work directory the i2D files folder, and call it the same way, smoke particle systems, and save it. Go to your map, go to File, Import, find it under the i3D files folder, and open it. And now it showed up on the bottom, in my case under the camera. And now, as you can see, we have this smoke particle system group and the original smoke particle systems group. So be very careful. Choose the one we imported, which is on the bottom. Expand it and find your crop. In my case, it's not alfalfa or drive alfalfa or whatever. It's rye. Select it, go to edit and cut it out. Select the original smoke particle systems transform group, go to edit and paste it. And we are done here. So, and now all you need to do is to select the imported transform group and press delete on your keyboard to just delete it. Now go back here, check out the next transform group, see if anything is related to your crop. In my case it is rye. Go to file. What you need to do, of course, is to empty the i3D folder, select the transform group, file, export selection, call it the same way. Save it. Go to file. On your map, go to file, import, and import it. Expand it. Search for a crop. In this case, it has only one crop. It is rye for me. Go to edit, cut that out. Find the transform group, select it, edit, and paste. Here it is. Delete the imported transform group. Just a moment. Yeah, everything is fine. And now continue. The next one, unloading particles. There is nothing in my case related to my crop right here, so I won't need that. Under the windrower, nothing related to rye. Tether, nothing. Weeder, nothing. And pickup, nothing. So I'm basically done here. So I can close this. I'm going to expand this window. And now the safest way to fix all of the pets is to go from, of course, from one transform group to another, as I said already a million times. Don't go by your memory. If you exported and imported multiple files, don't go by your memory, because you will probably forget something. I didn't have a lot of things to import in this case, but you might. So just to be safe, go from one group to another. So the first transform group for me is the smoke particle systems transform group. I'm going to expand it, see if there is anything related to my crop. Here it is, rye. I'm going to expand it. I'm going to expand the smoke emitter, and I'm going to click on the file, the last file, and I'm going to see if I need to change any paths. Under the albedo map and normal map there are some paths, but if I hover over it, it points to the installation directory of my game, so I don't need to change anything right here, or in both cases, for the albedo map and the normal map. So I'll leave it be. I won't change anything. Same thing for the smoke emitter. I'm not sure if they are related. I guess they are, since this semi-chip is the child of the smoke emitter. So, but it doesn't matter. Check it out just in case. So I'm going to close this. Next transform group is straw. There is nothing here. The straw particle systems, sorry. Another transform group is the chopper particle systems. I'm going to expand it, and I'm going to see if there is anything related to my crop. Here it is, rye. I'm going to select it. I'm going to expand the chopper emitter, click on emit shape. Under the emit shape there is nothing to change, and under the chopper emitter there is one pad, but I won't change it since it points to the installation folder of the game, so it's fine. And I'm going to close this. Unloading particles, sorry. Nothing related to my crop as far as I can see. Yeah, there's no rye here. So I'm going to continue. Spreader particles, nothing. Chopper particles, nothing. Soil, nothing. Windrower, nothing. Tether, nothing. Weeder, nothing. Forestry, nothing. Harvesting, nothing. Forestry, nothing. Sorry, yeah, already were there. Yeah, as I said, I'm a bit lost. Just a moment. Harvesting, nothing. Washer, nothing. Pickup, nothing. sowing nothing, and driving particle systems nothing. So basically, in my case, there were no pets to change. It, as I said, it might be different for you. Check everything out just to be sure. And once you are done, go to File and Save. And you are free to close it. And basically now we are done with exporting and importing things from the i3D files. It was very time consuming and boring, but we are done. So now what we need to do is to actually edit some other files with the Notepad++, some XML files and so on and so on. So I'm going to go back here and back here. And yeah, we are going to do some editing. The easiest way to do this actually is, again, go from one file to another, see if there are any XML files, open those files with Notepad++, and with the search function, see if there is anything related to your crop there. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to go from the first file to the last one and see if I can find anything for rye. So I'm going to open the audio file, and there won't be any XML files here. So I'll go back. I'm going to open the character file, and this is for animal, for the new type of animal in this case. So I probably won't need anything here because it's not related to our crop. So I'll go back. I'll go to the fill planes folder, see if there are any XML files here. None of them. There's nothing here, sorry. Under the HUDs, same thing, nothing. Distance, also no XML files, so I'll go back. Under the foliage, there are some XML files. The icon for the XML file might look differently for you. I changed it to open it directly with Notepad++. That's why this is the icon, but this is the XML file. So I'm going to search if there is rye, and here it is. But I can open it, but there probably I won't need to change anything right here. Everything will be fine. So I'll leave it be. I'm going to close it, and there is nothing here anymore for me. Under the distance folder also there is nothing. So the next folder is the MAIZE Plus with animal food additions. I'm going to open it. I'm going to open the search function and type in rye, and there is nothing here for the rye, so I'm going to close it. I'm going to go back under the maps folder, and now there are multiple XML files right here. I'm going to start from the bottom. We'll open this one, click somewhere on the top, search for I. There are 0 matches, so there's nothing here. Farmlands, search for I, 0 matches, nothing here. NPCs, rye, nothing here. Vehicles, probably nothing. Yes, 0 matches, nothing. Transport missions, if I click on count and search for I, there is nothing. Sounds, probably nothing. Yeah, 0 matches. Environment, rye, count, 4 matches. So I'll go on top, click somewhere on the top, and click on the find next. But this is nothing for rye. If you see, it says primary extra something, doesn't matter. It's nothing related to actual crop. It was in an accident. It found it. It doesn't matter. So I'll click on next. Secondary something. It doesn't matter. Nothing related for my crop. So those are the 4 matches, and it's nothing for my crop. So I'm going to close it. Uh, This is some lighting, probably nothing. Yes, animated objects, count, 0 matches, particle systems. There are no XML files here. Let's go back. HUDs, no XML files. Foliage, there are some XML files, but this is all for other crops. None of them is for I. Nothing here. Fill planes, nothing here. No XML files here. Nothing here. Under distance, nothing here. Let's go back. Bales, round bales. No XML files here, only images and the i3D files. Sorry. Square bales, same thing, nothing to change. Let's go back, more back. Next folder is the mod map. Uh, there is nothing here. There won't be any XML files here. Scripts, nothing. And now seasons. Um, your map will probably have the seasons folder, the map we are using to take out the crop. If it doesn't have it, just ignore this step. But if you have the seasons folder, search for it everywhere. If you don't find it, just skip this. But if you find this, there is a XML file which is called crops. This is the one we need. If we open visuals and search for I, there won't be anything here. And if we open the animals and search for I, there won't be anything here. So this is the XML file we're going to need. Just a moment. Yeah, under the textures there won't be any XML files, right? So the XML file we need right now is the crops XML file. I'm going to open it. I'm going to close everything. I'm going to lower it, and I need to find the seasons folder in my map. So it's somewhere, maybe even more back. Yes, seasons for me is right here. So I'm going to open it, and in my case I only have the crops XML file. So I'm going to open that too. I'm going to split things. The left one is the XML file from the Sandy Bay, and the right one is mine XML file. If I click somewhere on the top and open the search function and click on count, for some reason there is no rye here. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, in this case there is no rye on the Sandy Bay under the Crops XML folder for the seasons. The one reason, which is I think the reason why is it like that, is because seasons on its own, when it detects non-standard crop, if it is not set up, that crop, if it is not set up through the XML crops XML file, or with the how is it called, the geomods, if it is not set up like that, that crop will behave like barley. I think either barley or wheat, it doesn't matter, but it will behave like that. It will grow in the same periods, and you will be able to harvest it in the same periods. uh, and Oxygen David probably skipped it because rye probably, as far as I know, behaves exactly the same way uh, like barley and or wheat or whatever in the real world. So there was no need to add it to the crops XML file, since seasons will probably do it on its own. But still, if you are not transferring rye like me, if you are transferring some other type of crop like alfalfa, clover or something, and you search for example for alfalfa right here, and you found some matches, you will need to transfer everything related to alfalfa to your Crops XML file. Some maps actually do have specific Crops XML file for the rye, and one of those maps is Geiselsberg. So I'm going to show you how can you transfer all of the needed lines to your Crops XML file. So I'm going to close the Crops XML file from the Sandy Bay, and I'm going to find it in the Geiselsberg map. Here it is. Just a moment, I'm going to split it like this, and here it is. As far as I remember, Geiselsberg has that. And if I click, yes, if I click count and search for I and click on count, as you can see here, there are 14 matches. So I need to transfer those lines. The easiest way to do this is to simply open the search function and click on find next. Now under the default crops, you can see the line which says default crop name rye. Copy it and paste it under your default crops. Now let's continue. Next match, under this GT index equals 1, there is crop name equals rye, blah blah blah, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to find the growth transmissions GT index 1 and I'm going to paste it here. So let's continue. Next match, same line under the GT index 2. So I'm going to search it in my map and I'm going to paste it under the GT index 2 right here. I'm going to paste it on the bottom. So let's continue. Next, GT index 3. Same thing, GT index 3, and I'm going to paste it right here. Next line, GT index 4. Now GT index 4 in your map, find it and paste it on the bottom. Next match, GT index 5. Copy it, find the GT index 5 in your map and paste it somewhere. I'll paste it here in the bottom. You probably won't have this, but it doesn't matter. Just paste it under the GT index 5. Next, GT index 6. Just a moment. Be very careful when you are trying to copy things. I'm going to copy this line and I'm going to paste it under the GT index 6. Paste it. Next line, GT index 7. GT index 7. Copy and paste it. Next line, GT index 8. Copy and paste it. GT index 9. GT index 9. Find it in your map. Here it is. Paste it. Next. 10. Just take your time, so you won't miss anything. Take it slowly. Next, GT index 11. Paste it on your map. Next match, GT index 12. GT index 12. Sorry, it's not GT index 12, it is the GT index first load transition. So just read it carefully, don't hurry. See if there are any more matches. Yes. And now, as you can see here, this is a I don't know how to call this, a tag or an element or something, and it goes all the way down here it says fruit type equals name, and under it there are some lines. It doesn't matter. Just copy the whole thing from the beginning, fruit type name equals, well, the name of your crop, to the end where you see this forward slash sign. Copy the whole thing, and now it should be under the fruit types tag. So in your XML file, search for the fruit types. Here it is, not type but types, fruit types. Search for it, and as you can see there are multiple fruit types here: barley, oat, wheat, and so on. So go on the bottom, just a moment. Here it is. As far as I can see, this is the last fruit type here under the fruit types S. So here after the last fruit type, press enter and paste your crop. Now click on find next. Let's continue. And as far as I can see, it started all over again. It says found the first occurrence from the top. Then the end of the document has been reached. So if you click on this XML file and click on count, as if you remember, there were 14 matches. So to check it if you did it properly, uh, click on your XML file, open the search function, type in rye, well, the name of your crop, of course, and click on count. And there you go, there are 14 matches. So basically now you need to save the XML file, and basically we set up the crops XML for these seasons. Now we are free to close those files, and now we can continue. I was in the Geiselsberg map, but I need to go back to the Sandy Bay. I was here. We already checked if there are any XML files for our crop that we need, and there weren't any right here. So let's go back and let's continue. Just a moment. Yes. Let's go back here. Yes. Now under the cell points, let's open it. There won't be anything here. In my case, nothing, of course, related for the crop, but we will come back in the end of this video. Here we will come back here to set up properly the ability to sell the new type of crop we are adding. So I'll just go back. Under the shaders, there are now, for me at least, two different XML files. I'm going to open the ground shader. I'm going to expand it right like this, and I'm going to search for I. There's nothing here, so I'll close it. And ground height shader, and there are 0 matches for I right here. So I'll go back. Under the textures, there won't be anything. These are only the texture files. Under the vehicles, there won't be anything, nothing related to our crop. And now here under the XML files, there are multiple XML files that we need to check. So first file we are going to open is the maps fruit types. I'm going to open it, click on top, and see if there is anything related to rye. And if I click on count, I found the 6 matches. So which means I need to copy some things to my map fruit types. So I'm going to close all of these files and leave just this one. In my map I need to find map fruit types XML. Just a moment. As far as I remember, map fruit types, here it is. For me at least, it was under the maps folder. It doesn't mean it will be in the same location for you, but it will be somewhere. So try to find it, and I'm going to open it. And again, I'm going to split files, drag and drop this right here. This is from the Sandy Bay, and this is from my map. So I'll click on the top of the file, open the search function, type in the name of my crop, click on Find Next. And now, as you can see, there is also a whole element, I don't know how to call it, multiple lines related to rye, fruit type name equals rye, and there are multiple lines under it, and everything ends with the / fruit type. So I need to copy it. I'm going to copy it, and under the fruit types, I'm going to go on the bottom, and before closure of the fruit types, under the last fruit type without S, I'm going to press enter and paste everything. There are no any sort of file paths right here as far as I can see, so there we won't need to change anything for now. Let's continue with this search. Click Find Next again. And now, as you can see, under the fruit type categories, rye is mentioned on the multiple places, So I need to find the fruit type categories in my map. Here it is. And I need to add rye to multiple places. So the first occurrence is here under the grain header. So I'm going to find the grain header on my map, paste it. Just be careful to leave the space between different crops. Then again, I have rye under the direct cutter. I'll find direct cutter here, paste it, leave the space. And there was rye under the sewing machine, or whatever it is called. I'm going to paste it here, and now I'm going to see if there is any place else. Yes, under the fruit type converters, uh, there is another line for the rye. I need to copy it, the whole line, and I need to find fruit type converters in my XML file. And just a moment. Yeah, be careful. As you can see, it was under the, not just the fruit type converters, but under the fruit type converter name equals forage harvester. So be careful where you are going to copy things. No, even that is wrong, I think. Just a moment. Um, No, it's fine. Sorry, it's fine. I was a bit confused with this line because it was moved. Sorry. So yeah, in my case, that line is under the forage harvester. So I copied the whole line. I need to find the forage harvester in my map, and I need to add that line. Just a moment. And paste it on the bottom. Here it is. Now let's search if there are any more lines. Yes, under the mower, there is another line. I'm going to copy that line. I'll search for the fruit type converter name mower in my XML file, and I'm going to paste that line. Now I'm going to search again for the rye, and as you can see, it said that it is done. So if you remember, there were 6 matches in this file. So I'll see if there are 6 matches now in my file. So I'll click on count, and yes, there are 6 matches. So I made some changes here accidentally. That's why it's red. Don't worry about it. But on your XML file, you need to save it. And basically, we are done with the maps fruit type XML. So I'm going to close it. Next file, XML file, is maps field types. I'm going to open it, and again, open the search function, type in the name of your crop, click on count, and as you can see there are 10 matches right here. So that means I need to find the maps field types XML file in my map, and here it is. In my case, under the maps folder again. I'm going to open it. I'm going to split it. Here it is. So let's begin. Again, click on top of the file, open the search function, type in the name of your crop, click on find next, and as you can see there is the field type element, name equals rye. There are multiple lines right here. Mark all of them from the beginning to the end, copy it, and under the field types, as you can see there are multiple field types. Go somewhere on the bottom, and before the closure of the field types with the S, before that click press enter and paste those lines. And now don't search immediately for the next occurrence of the rye or whatever. Look at what you copied. If we look here, there are some paths right here. For example, image HUD. This is for the HUD image for those icons we copied, where I complained a bit about the art style. And as you can see, for the Sandbag, it says that it is under the fill planes, HUDs, HUD fill rye PNG, and for the HUD small, it is under the fill planes HUD fill rye small PNG. And there is one more for Bale, I think, but this is the base game folder, which is fine. We don't need to change this, but we need to change these file paths in our case. Since if you remember, we didn't actually copy them in under the field planes HUDs. We didn't have the HUDs folder under the field planes folder. So if I open my map, just a moment, and the map from the Oxygen David, as it says, for him, the icons are under the field planes folder and HUDs, and that's fine. But for us, it's not under the field planes folder; it's under the maps folder and HUDs. In my case, so find the location of your where you copied those icons, these two icons, and look at the address bar and see where it is, as it says maps HUDs, and in the Sandbag it says field planes HUDs. So open your XML file, and I'm now, at least in my case, I need to change the field planes to maps. HUDs is the same folder, same name, and the file names are the same. I think they are the same. Just a moment. HUD fill rye and HUD fill rye small, HUD fill rye PNG, and HUD small. I need to change this to maps. HUD fill rye small dot PNG. Yes, the names are the same of the names of the PNG files, and basically that should be it. So I'll go back where I left off under the XML files. Yes. So now we can continue with searching uh, for other occurrences of our crop. So open the search function again, click on next, and now under the field type categories, you can see there are multiple rye occurrences. So I'm going to search it in my map. Sorry, not in my map. I'm going to search for the field type categories. It is right here below. So I need to copy those. Under the bulk there is rye mentioned, so I need to copy it and paste it under the bulk. Of course, be careful about the spacing. Under the combine there is rye, I'm going to paste it. Auger wagon, there is rye. I'm going to paste it. Sorry. Under the train wagon, there is rye. Under the farm silo, there is rye. Under the loading vehicle, there is rye. And now let's continue. And that's it. We had 10 matches in the original XML file, and now if we click on our file, open the search function and type in the name of the crop and click on count, now we also have the 10 matches. So yeah, if you copy anything which has any sort of paths, look at those paths and see if they are correct. They probably won't be correct for you, and you will probably need to enter the correct paths, just like I did for the HUD icons. So once we are done, click on save to save the changes in the XML file. Don't forget to do that. And now close everything. Just a moment. Now we need to open the next XML file, which is maps density height types. Here it is. Search for I, and there are 4 matches right here also. So I need to find the maps density map height types XML file in my map. As far as I remember, it's also under the maps folder in my case. So I'm going to open it and I'm going to split it once again. Here it is. So I'm going to open the search function, click on find next, and there it is. Density map height field type name rye. I need to copy all of this and I need to paste it under the density map height types. So I'm going to paste it on the bottom after the last one. And again, file paths might be different for you. It says that how many file paths? Yeah, we have 3 different file paths. In this case, it says that it should go under the field planes right diffuse, PNG. So in the Sandy Bay, it is the field planes right diffuse. Yes, under the field planes there is a right diffuse PNG file on the Sandy Bay, and in my map I need to open the field planes folder, and something is missing. If you look at the address bar, field planes is under another map, another folder called maps. So what I need to do, it's here, right diffuse PNG. What I need to do is, in my case, add the maps folder. Here it is. Let's continue. Normal map, again it says that it is under the field planes right normal, sorry, and in my case it is under the maps field planes right normal, so I need to add maps in front of it. Next, distance, it says that it is under the field planes distance right distance diffuse PNG. So I need to find the right distance diffuse PNG. It will be under the distance folder. In just a moment, it's here, right distance diffuse. And again, it is under the field planes and distance folders. But before that, everything is under the maps folder in my case. As I said, it might be different for you. Check it out. Check the paths. Always check them and search if there are any changes, problems, and change it. Now let's continue with our search. I was already here, sorry. Here, and yes, that's the only thing we had to change. Those are the 4 matches. If I click on my XML file, search for I, and click on count, and there are now 4 matches also in my XML file. Click on save, and that's it. So let's continue. Let's close everything up. Sorry. Where was I? I was under XML folder. Now let's continue. The next XML file we need to check is the maps Bale types XML file. Open it, search for your crop. For me there are 0 matches, but if you are, for example, adding the, I don't know, alfalfa, of course you will have the new type of Bale. So you will probably find some of the matches for the alfalfa, and what you need to do, you need to copy, of course, every single line from the maps Bale types XML file, which has the alfalfa in it, and copy it to your maps Bale types XML file to make sure that your Bale type new bales work correctly. But in this case, I don't have any new type of bales, since after harvesting rye, there will be simple in-game straw left after the combine, so there are no changes needed. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to open the traffic system. There probably won't be anything here, but just in case, search for a crop. Of course, 0 matches. I'm going to close that. Map husbandry definitions. Nothing. Husbandry animals. Nothing. So I'm going to close that. I'm going to go back. And there are some of the files left. L10x, whatever it is, sorry. Search for the rye. Sorry, not standalone rye, my bad. 0 matches. I mean, search for your crop. When I say search for the rye, I mean search for your crop, of course. Open the mod description and search for rye, and we have 5 matches, which of course means that we, so just a moment, we need to find the mod description XML file in our map. So I'll just find it right now. Here it is. I'm going to split it, and here it is. And now I need to copy the needed lines. Open the search function, click on top of the file, open the search function, click on find next, and these are, well, basically change log of the map or whatever it is. You of course you don't need to copy anything from this. Click on next, same thing, and we have something right here. Text name equals field type rye. We need to copy that, the whole thing from the beginning text to the / text. We need to copy everything, and it was under the L10N file type name prefix, so we need to find that in our map. Just a moment. Well, basically it is under the L10, whatever that means, I don't know. It was right here, so I'm going to paste it at the bottom, and it's a bit of a mess. I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to delete the polish since I don't need it. You don't have to do anything of this, just copy it on the in the right location if you have it. If you don't have it, you just ignore it. I'm going to copy that, and now let's see if there is anything else, and that's it. There are 5 matches, but now if you click on your folder, there won't be 5 matches because we didn't copy any of the changelog notes for the version 1.1.0 and so on. There should be only, at least now for me, there should be only 1 match, I think, or maybe 2. Yeah, 2, sorry, because there are 2 occurrences of rye. and that's correct. So now we are done with the mod description XML file. Save it, don't forget to save it to see this blue icon. Close everything, and as far as I can see, there is only one thing left, and that is the mod map XML file. Now, you might not have it. The easiest way to find this XML file is to see the name of the i3D file, the main i3D file of your map. In this case, for this Bay, it's now called modmap. So I need to find modmap XML file. So I need to open it. I need to expand it. I need to search for I, see if there are any matches. And for me now there are 0 matches. Just a moment. Yeah, there are 0 matches, right? Sorry, my bad. So we don't need to copy anything from here. If you have anything, just copy it the same way we already did. But if you don't, you are free to close it. And as far as I remember, that should be it, at least for the editing the XML files. Few more things we need to do. We need to edit the main i3D file with the Notepad++, add a few lines, and we need to add our crop to the cell points. So we are going to do that now. Now we need to open the i3D files of our maps with the Notepad++. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open the i3D file from the Bay by right clicking on the main i3D file and open it with Notepad++. I'm going to close this. I'm going to lower it, and now I'm going to open the i3D file of my map. Well, it's not my map, I didn't make it, but you know what I mean. And here it is. This is the main i3D file. I'm going to open it with Notepad++. And again, now I'm going to split those two files. Drag this one to the left, open this one on the right. And now if I click on the top of the file, open the search function and search for my crop, I see that there are 36 matches actually. So I'm going to go from the beginning, and I'm going to open the search function and click on the next. And now under the files tag, this one, sorry, there are multiple, just a moment. Yeah, there are multiple lines which say rye. As you can see here, it says foliage distance, foliage rye distance to diffuse PNG, and multiple of lines, but with different numbers, uh, which are here. I need to copy all of those lines, mark all of them, uh, and I need to copy them, and I'm going to paste them on the top of the files tag just to make it a bit more clear. Next, what I'm going to do is search again for the rye, and now I see there is a rye right here. I'm going to copy that line too, which says foliage rye XML. Copy that line, also paste it on the top, some right here. Again, search for the rye. This is not rye, but it was found by the accident because it says dryer, but I don't need that. Again, grain dryer, I don't need that. Tower dryer, I don't need that. cargo container. All of these lines are actually found on the accident. Nothing here, and this is the one I need. It's under the foliage multi-layer, density map ID, and so on and so on. And this is the line I need. I need to copy the whole line, and the easiest way to find where to paste it in my file is not to paste it under the files, because it is not under the files, it is under the foliage multi-layer. The easiest way to do this is to open the search function and type in foliage multi-layer. Click on find, and now I found it right here. Under the foliage multi-layer, after the last line of the foliage type, I'm going to press enter and paste the rye. I'm going to split it just a bit to make it stand out from the rest. Now I'm going to search for rye once again. Again, grain dryer, nothing related to rye actually. Again, nothing. Tower dryer, nothing. Dryer, nothing, nothing. All of these are some kinds of dryer, nothing related to actual crop. Nothing here. And there it is. So there were no more files. So basically, most of the things will be on top on the under the files section. All of these distance diffuse things, you need to copy them. There will be a line for a crop under the foliage multi-layer, and there will be again under the files you will see the your crop XML path to the XML file of your crop, which will probably be of course under the foliage folder, which is fine. So now one more thing we need to do before saving everything is go to the top of our XML file, and again click somewhere on the top, open the search function, type in the name of your crop, click on find next. And now if you remember, we pasted everything that was under the files, we pasted on top of here on top of the file. So one thing we need to do to avoid any problems is to change the file IDs. The thing is, your map probably already has these IDs for the different files, so we need to change it. So I'm going to add, I don't know, two numbers, the same number, to the end of the each ID to make it stand out from the rest. So I'm going to add 1 to every single ID, which to every single line I copied. Be careful to add it to the end. So here it is. All of these are the new lines I did it once. And on the bottom, if you remember, under the foliage multi-layer, there was another line where I need to add one, sorry. And if I click on find next, that's it. In my case, the count number from my XML file and the original XML file will be different because I had all of those grain dryers, but it doesn't matter. Everything is right here. So now click on save and close it. And now what we need to do is to add the new crop to the cell points. So we are going to do that now. Basically, the easiest way to know where you want, well, basically to which locations you want to add ability to sell your crop is to simply open up the game, open up the map in the game, and look through all of the selling locations and write down on piece of paper in which locations you want the ability to sell the new type of crop you are going to add to your map, well, which you're basically adding to your map. So I was in the game and I wrote down three different locations where I want to add ability to sell the rye. So uh, one thing you need to find in the map which already had your crop is the sell points location or whatever it is called, something about selling. You need to find those sell points and you need to open that map. And now what you need to do is to find, just a moment, some XML files for the selling of your crop. It's a bit difficult. I mean, it's not difficult. You just need to search a bit. For example, I think that for selling station port 01 should have ability to sell my crop. So I'm going to open it with Notepad++. Yes. And under that file, under that XML file, you need to find you need to open the search function, type the name of your crop, click on find next, and you need to find the line field type name, well, the name of your crop, and basically line should basically look something like this, and it should be under the selling station, something, it doesn't matter, just under the selling station. Mark the whole line and copy it, close it, and now you need to find the selling locations inside your map. So for me, for some reason, it is under the placeables folder, and now you see the folder called selling stations. In the Sandy Bay, it was called sell points. It doesn't matter. You just need to find it. It's somewhere under the folders. So I'm going to open that. And now I had three different locations. First location is the distillery. So I need to find the distillery and I need to find the XML file for that location. So I'm going to, here it is, so I'm going to open it with Notepad++. And under the selling stations, I'm going to add ability to sell rye. I'm going to paste that line I just copied and I need to save it. Don't forget to save it. And I'm going to close it. Next location is called Grain Elevator East, in the English at least. So I kind of need to guess, in my case, where it is, since this is a Polish, I think, map. I think it's Polish, I'm not sure. So this is something which says elevator, so it's probably that. So I'm going to open the XML file for that, and I'm going on under the selling station, and I'm going to add that line for selling rye. Here it is, I pasted it, and the last location for me at least is called selling station 2. So I need to find it. Just a moment. I think this is it. It's actually a sell point as far as I remember. So I'm going to add the ability to sell rye right here. And that's it. So basically I'm done with the adding the ability to sell my crop to different locations. And now before we add the map to our game and test it out, I need to basically open with Giants Editor the main i3D file of my map to see under the log, well, not under the log, but under the console, if there are any errors. So I'm going to do that now. Just a moment. So here it is. On the bottom is the console. I'm going to expand it a bit, and I'm going to see if there are any lines which say error, and there are none of them here. So, which is a good sign, but that doesn't mean I did everything correctly. Uh, just a moment. Yeah, under the foliage layer, sorry, I can see that there is rye. So I guess I did it right. I'm going to go to File and click on Save just in case. Just a moment, it says exporting. And now, basically, we are more or less done with editing, finally, I guess. Uh, what we need to do is now transfer the map to our mods folder and test this thing out. Uh, there are two things you need to test. You need to test everything with seasons and everything without seasons. In the last video about adding the crops, I only tested the map with seasons, and I think that seasons adds all of the crops to the sell points. And if you play without seasons, it doesn't add it if you didn't do it on your own, just like we did it a few minutes ago. So I didn't notice that, and it's basically a mistake in that video. So just you need to test everything. You need to test the see if the HUD icons are here. See if you can seed your new crop, if you can plant it. See if it grows properly. See if you can, I don't know, destroy it by driving over it. If you can harvest it. See if there are any smoke effects if when you're harvesting your crops. See if you can dump those crops to the ground, see if you can dump them to the trailer. Uh, for example, one of the problems when I first did it was that my combine, when I harvested rye, I was able to unload the rye to a trailer, and even though the fill tank on the combine was empty, it still said it had rye in it. It said zero, but it said rye, and I wasn't able to harvest any other crop anymore. So, which meant I messed something up when I was transferring the crop. So basically, you need to test all of these things. So now you need to add everything back to the zip file. So go inside the folder of your map, select everything, right click it, go to 7-zip and click add to archive. Here choose the zip and click OK. And now wait a minute. The easiest way to test this is first test everything without seasons. Just start it that way to see if there are any missing effects, for example, for the header, if there are any missing smoke particles and so on and so on. And after that, see if everything grows properly in the seasons. So here it is, my map. Now copy that map to your mods folder. For me, it is here. For you, it will be probably, well, you know where the mods folder is. Paste it. And now simply start the game and test everything. So I just tried to load up my game and start the map, and I actually had a problem. My game crashed. So I was searching through the files and I found out that particle material holder i3D file doesn't open. So if you are having the same problem, if you try to load up the map, well, you are basically doing everything just like I did. You are trying to import Rye from this Sandy Bay map, and when you are trying to load up the game crashed. Uh, there is, well, easy way to fix it is it's not a big deal. So first things first, make sure that i3D files folder in your work directory is empty because we're going to need it. One more thing, you need to download the Geiselsberg map because we are partially going to use it. Then go under the MAIZE maps, extract your map here, open it up, and find the particle material holder i3D file. Um, Also find the particle material holder i3D shapes file, those two files. Select them and copy them. Go back to work directory, go to your map, and again find the particle material holder and paste it here and replace it. So we have the original particle material holder, which we can now open without crashing the Giants editor. If you remember, I was talking about having some problems with this thing. I don't know why, but when I import some smoke effects or something like that from the Sandy Bay, Giants editor crashes. I don't know what's the deal with that. Maybe some bug or something, but it doesn't matter. We will fix it right now. So what we need to do is go back, and now we have two maps, Sandy Bay and Geiselsberg. First thing we're going to do is go to Sandy Bay, and we need to find the particle material holder, open it. Now go under the chopper particle systems, and there is Rye. We are going to, just a moment, yes, we are going to extract it. So click on chopper particle systems, go to file, export selection, and type in chopper particle systems, just so we know what we are doing. And that's okay. We are now free to close it. Now go back to your work directory, open up the Geiselsberg map, go to the maps, and go to the particle systems. And here it is, particle material holder. Open it up. The actual problem was with this thing, smoke particle systems. When I was trying to export that thing from the Sandy Bay and import it in my Giants editor, after saving it and opening up again Giants editor, the Giants editor crashed, which also caused my game to crash for some reason. So we are now going to use the Geiselsberg smoke particle systems because it also has Rye in it. So we are going to just mix some things a bit, but everything is fine. Don't worry. Just a moment to see something. Yes, also the paths are pointing directly to the game, so that's also great. So don't export the chopper particle systems from the Geiselsberg since uh, the file paths are showing to some of the files we don't have in our map. So that's why we extracted the chopper particle systems from Sandy Bay. So now select the smoke particle systems, go to file and export selection, and type in smoke particle systems and save it. And now we are free to close it. And now all we need to do is simply go to our map and find the particle material holder i3D file and open it. And now we will only import those two things. So now since we replaced with the original particle material holder, we don't have the Rye anymore here. So what are we going to do is go to File, Import, and first thing we are going to import is Smoke Particle Systems. Now it's on the bottom, expand it, click on Rye, Edit, Cut, click on the original Particle Systems transform group, and click on Paste. Here it is. Now delete the imported smoke particle systems transform group. Go to File, Import, and now choose the chopper particle systems. Open it, expand it, click on Dry, Edit, Cut, and click on Chopper original chopper particle systems transform group. Go to Edit and paste. There it is. And of course, delete the imported chopper particle systems transform group. Go to File and Save. And just to check the paths, uh, the RAI, yes, paths are the same. They are showing to the installation folder of the game, which is completely fine, exactly what we needed. And for the chopper particle systems, everything should be the same. Yes, showing directly to the installation folder of the game, so everything is fine. Now close up the Giants editor and try to open particle material folder once again. When I was trying to do that last time, the whole Giants editor crashed, but now it opens up and everything is here, so everything is fine. And now you are free to test things out. Go to your work directory, open up your map, select everything, right click, 7-zip, and add to archive. Select zip right here and click OK. Here it is. And now simply copy that zip file to your mods folder. For me, it is on the D drive. For you, it will probably be in the documents folder. And now try to test it. Since this video is already very long, I'm not going to show you the whole process of testing, but I'm going to tell you basically what I tested out. So first things first, as I said earlier, you need to first test everything without seasons and then test everything with seasons. Some of the things I needed to check out are, for example, the icons. Once you attach, for example, a seeder, see if there is an icon for rye. Scroll through it until you come up to the rye and see if there is an icon for it. Next thing, try to plant your crop, seed it to your field. Then, through time, look at the growth stages, if everything grows correctly. Uh, After that, try to harvest it, and please look if there is smoke coming out of, for example, your header, or when you are unloading, and so on and so on, or when the harvester is dumping the straw behind it. Look if there are any smoke effects. First time I tried to add rye to my map, I didn't have any smoke effects coming out of my header. See if there is an animation of crop coming into the header also. Next thing, try unloading your crop to a trailer, and then try to unload your crop to the ground, either from combine on trailer, to see if it is possible. Don't forget, you can only unload the crop on the piece of land you own. Just to know that. What else? See if you can sell the crop. Um Normally, when you add your crop to the sell points, your crop will probably show up to the far right of that menu where you see all of the sell points. Just scroll far to the right. It should be somewhere there. So what else? Try to bale the straw or whatever you have if you can. For example, since I implemented dry, I can bale the straw. Try to bale it. What else? Yeah, after you unload the combine, try to harvest another crop with that same combine. Also, when I first tried to test this, when I was first doing this, I could harvest the rye and everything was fine. But when I unloaded the combine completely, it still said that it had rye for some reason. Even the tank was empty. It still said that it had rye in it, and I wasn't able to harvest, for example, wheat or barley anymore. So yeah, check that out. Then what else? If you think of anything else, also write it down on a piece of paper to not forget, and then test it out. After you do that, load up a game with seasons. Um See if your crop is showing in the seasons menu. You know that uh, that menu where you see all of the crops and when you can plant them and when you can harvest them. Your crop will probably show up somewhere on the bottom. What else? Yeah, test it out with 9-10 seasons. And one more thing, test everything out on the new save game without any mods. Only use seasons once you come to that part, but test out without any mods. And what else? Yeah, as I said, you need new save game. Also, when you when you will start playing again, when you see that everything works, I hope so at least. Uh, you just need to start a new save game. If you really want to transfer the progress to a new save game, you can watch one of my other videos which I made about transferring all of the progress to a new save game, so you won't basically lose plenty of things and everything will work. And yeah, I know this video is long, but unfortunately there is no other way or faster way to do this. I know I made some mistakes and I had to fix them. um, I hope you learned something, and if you see that I missed some parts or I did something wrong or I explained something uh, differently, and just point it out in the comment section. Help me out, help yourself out, help other people, and yeah, basically that's it. I hope you manage to implement your crop. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment sections below. And yeah, that's it. Thank you and goodbye.